right, guys, I'm pretty excited about this one. We got a brand new drone we're going to be sharing with you here today. This is the S159 GPS drone. Now, this drone has got some killer features that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. So we're going to get everything that's in the case here on the bench, and we'll continue on. All right, we got everything that was in the case on the bench, so let's have a look, starting with the manual. Now, the manual on this one, guys, was very well done. I took a quick peek at it. Nicely illustrated, oversized manual, listing all the functions of the transmitter, all the features of the drone, how to charge the batteries of the transmitter and the drone, and step-by-step instructions how to get the drone up in the air. And it's in English and Chinese, so we'll put that aside. Very well done on that manual. Now, if you've done any research on this drone, you realize that this drone does not require an app to watch the live feed of the drone, but you have the option to use the app, and the app on this one is the RX Drone GPS app. So you have your instructions for that here. So we'll put that aside. All right, let's have a look at the accessories included with the drone here. We'll dump them out on the bench. All right, we got charging cable, standard USB on the one end, and we got a Type-C on the other. It's going to charge the drone battery as well as the transmitter. We've got a micro SD card reader, your thumbsticks for the transmitter, and then we've got two sets of spare props, the mounting screws for those props, as well as a mini Phillips screwdriver to mount those props. So that is nice. This little box here, this is going to have your obstacle avoidance sensor. Now, if you follow the channel, I rarely test these out, or do I ever mount them to the drone, because these are infrared sensors and they're not going to work well in daylight, UV light. So these are really only good for indoors and maybe a low light cloudy day. These might function. I've never really had any luck with them, so I typically will not even test them. All right, let's pull in the transmitter here. It has this nice overlay card with the main functions of the transmitter to get you up in the air, all listed on the front here. That is nice. Now, I did mention earlier, it's not necessary to use the RX Drone app to view the live feed of the drone. And the reason being, this is a 5G transmitter here that has its own built-in display. So you can see there, we've got a very large built-in display in the transmitter. That is great. I haven't had the best of luck with this app, so to actually be able to view the live feed on the transmitter, I think we're going to have better luck with that. Now, on the side of the transmitter, we got our charging port. We've got our micro SD card slot. Now, that is odd. That's something I haven't seen. Typically, the micro SD cards actually get mounted directly into the drone, not the transmitter. So we'll see how that works out. They did include an 8 gig micro SD card here. There we go, 8 gig card included. That was nice, they included that. On the bottom here, that's where your sticks get stored, on the bottom. We'll actually mount those right now. Let's see how those gimbals feel. Actually not bad, feel pretty good. On the top here, we have our speed switch. There's 3 rates of speed. Press the button once, you're gonna hear 1 beep, that'll be your first rate of speed. Press it twice, you're going to hear 2 beeps, that'll be your second rate, and press it 3 times, you'll hear 3 beeps, and that'll be your third and fastest rate of speed. Next to that, we've got our return to home, which is long press, and short press that same button is going to be your headless mode. Over here, we've got our camera up and camera down buttons. You're able to control the angle of the camera directly from the transmitter here. On the front, 1 key takeoff and 1 key landing. GPS button. So if you're flying indoors and you don't want that GPS to be enabled, you're going to want to long press that button once you're connected to the drone. By default, GPS is always on when powering up the transmitter in the drone. And right here, we've got our gyroscope calibration button. That'll be short press for that. And your compass calibration, which will be long press. Now, we've got some other buttons along the sides here. We'll look at those in a moment, but I do want to pull in the S159 and have a look at that. We'll power that up. We'll power the transmitter up and have a look at that display and check out the live feed before we wrap this up and get out for our test flight. So looking at the S159, we've got these folding arms. They lock into place. Brushless motors on there. Now, right here, this little tab, that's going to be where your obstacle avoidance sensor plugs into. I'm not going to be mounting that right now, but did want to show you where it plugs into. Let's get rid of that little tab there. Put the cover back on. There we go. Our power button's right there. We have a gimbal guard here, so we can pop that out. There we go. And there's your high def camera with, at least it says, electronic image stabilization there. I don't know if we can pick that up. There we go. EIS Ultra HD. So we'll see how clear that camera is once we get out and test it out. On the bottom we have another camera, your optical flow camera right there. These are just fake looking cameras actually right there. Anything else? Well, let's pull out the battery here. Battery on this one labeled lithium ion battery, 7.4 volts. So it's a 2-cell battery, 2200 milliamp hours, and it's advertised to have up to 25 minutes of flight time. Charging port for the battery, again, type C charging port to charge up that battery. All right, we'll put that back in. Only goes in one way. Little clip at the bottom and locks into place. So let's power on this drone, and I do want to show you something, and we should be able to see that when we power it on here. Check that out. It's got a built-in battery display. So battery is at 99% right now. That is awesome. Haven't seen that before on a drone, but we can see right there, 99% display built right into the drone itself. Now we've got LEDs around the motors, LEDs on the front, LEDs on the back, and that looks like it's about it. All right, let's power up the transmitter and let's have a look at that display. Nice startup screen, very bright. Now you have English and Chinese, and you can select by just using the selection arrows there, and confirmation would be the check mark there. So there we go, live feed. No lag. Now obviously we're right close to the drone, so we'll get a, but the camera looks actually pretty good, not bad at all. Really nice display. Now on the display we can see we have 95% battery, and that's what's showing on the drone too. You can see our Wi-Fi connection is strong now, and you can see we're in GPS mode. Now if we wanted to turn GPS mode off, you can see GPS mode there. Long press that GPS button. There, indoor mode. Press it again, GPS mode. Okay, so our photo button right there now. Video button, so that'll take a photo and that'll start a video. We have our back button here, and it's not going to take us back anywhere. There's nowhere to go back. Now your function button, so we can flip the camera, and again your select button, you can switch the camera or flip the camera. So flip it, just going to flip it upside down. We can go back. Oh, sorry, we're going back to the functions here. I'm just learning how to use this for the first time. So I want to flip that camera back to the right orientation. We're going to go back into the function there, and I'm going to go over to switch. And what that did, that enabled the optical flow camera. So we got our optical flow camera now. So that's the bottom camera. And we'll switch back to the main camera. There we go. And I just want to see the up and down buttons here. I'm trying to keep this on the screen so we can see as best we can. That's pretty cool. So that works as it should. Now if we were to do, we'll show you how to do it. So this is going to be your gyro calibration, and you're going to see the lights blink here. Short press, see them blinking fast. Done. Now if we were to do our compass calibration, we long press that, and then you would go through. Now it'll show you in the manual, but the horizontal beeps, and then up, and it'll beep. There we go. Compass calibration done. Now it's going to actually start searching for satellites, and I don't really expect to find any indoors here, but just wanted to show you the process of it. And we'll probably do that again when we're out doing our test flight. So if I took a quick picture here, we'll show you. Successfully saved. And to view your photos, it's going to be the back button here. And it's going to be files. So you would just highlight files by using the selection buttons here, confirmation, and okay, there, and there we go. There's our picture. If I had a video, you would select over to video. And I have no files there right now. So very easy to use. Didn't really look at the manual to figure out how to use this, kind of just doing it while we're looking at it here together. Now, actually, if I go back in the files, if I want to delete that file, there we go. Delete option is here now. And gives me another option. One more chance not to delete it, but we're going to delete it. There we go. File is deleted. And then we have settings. Let's go to settings. So default settings. You can format the SD card. Your version. Actually, let's go into format. All right, had a countdown there, and we're confirming format successful. Not sure how well this is going to pick up on the camera, but very easy to use. Version and your brightness. So we can actually switch our brightness from 20% up to 100%. And then back to the main screen, hit the center button here. And there we go. We're back to the main live feed. Very easy to use, guys. So I do have to show you, even though I don't recommend it, if you do want to use the RX Drone app, you have to pair everything up to this point, and then you would have to hit this button here, the power button. There we go. It turns the screen on. You can't turn the screen back on now. The drone is now going to emit a Wi-Fi signal, which you'll pick up with your phone, and then you would go into the RX Drone app to have a look at that. But hey, a lot of nice features here, guys. I'm excited to get out and test out the S159 here. So we're going to pack it up at the bench here. I'm going to get them charged up, get the drone charged up fully, get the transmitter charged up fully, and we'll see you out on the field, and we're going to have some fun with it and test this out and see how well it does. All right, guys, we got the S159 out for its first flight. I'm going to power on the transmitter, let that fire up, power on the drone. Okay, and do a gyro calibration. See the lights flashing there, and then we'll follow that up with a compass calibration. And we'll hear confirmation. There we go. Go vertical with it. There we go. All right, so we're gonna wait for it to find some satellites here. Currently have 7 satellites. I think we need 9 to be able to take off. Not 100% sure on that. Yeah, it's not going to take off right now. Just tried to engage it. So we'll see if we can collect at least another couple satellites here. Currently at 7. And this might take a minute or two. I think you need to have a certain amount of satellites, which is typically 9 satellites at minimum. So sitting at 7, we'll give another minute or two to see if it can get a few more satellites locked on, and then we'll get it up in the air. All right, so it did take a couple minutes. Did hear a beep, came back to the transmitter, and I have 10 satellites now. So now we should be able to unlock the motors. There we go. And we'll get it up in the air. Now it is quite breezy out here right now, and you can see we've got some a little bit of toilet bowling going here. So that's not good. Let's see if it'll settle down on its own. So I might have to bring this back down and do another calibration. So we'll get it back down here. Watch yourself. A little bit out of control there. All right, we're gonna do another calibration there because that was not good. Okay, let's see if that's any better now. All right, well, you can see Not quite as bad. It's holding better now. We're gonna, a little concerning there. I am gonna put it in third rate. We're gonna just start a video here, guys, and I'm just gonna take it out a bit. This thing is fast. Wow. Yeah, it's having some issues there, guys. I'm gonna have to get it up in the air and start bringing it back. Definitely a little sketchy there. I'm gonna put it back in first rate. It's gonna see. Okay, now it seems like it's calming down a bit. Not really. Wasn't really toilet bowling that bad, but look at it's just a little concerning there. Just gonna move the camera a bit. Seems a bit better now. I think it's locked on a bit better, isn't it? Yeah. So you can see now it's holding its position. Now that took about a good minute for it to settle down. It is quite breezy right now, so the amount of movement right now is not really concerning me. I'm gonna take it out for a little flight here now. I'm a little more comfortable. Man, that's fast, and that's in first rate right now. Oh yeah, it's just going nuts over there. I'm gonna just bring it back this way, guys. Just major toilet bowling here. Like, this is worse than a Hollystone drone. You can see that, guys. I've done 2 compass calibrations, so we shouldn't be having these issues. So I'm a little bit disappointed. Now it's settled down. Somewhat concerning. We shouldn't be having this issue. I might bring it back in one more time. We have had the video going this whole time, but even the video is not going to look great due to the amount of movement the drone has there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try return the home. See if it comes back. So it is coming. Let's just make sure it's going to come back. Looks like it's coming back. Yeah. And the return to home, it's settled right down now, though. No, it's not coming out to return the home. There we go. I had to hold the button. Okay, now, that's odd. I'm just going to take it back out there a bit. Quite a bit better now. Now, it wasn't headless mode there. I just took it out. You can see the lights flashing. Let's take a look at the LEDs. Now I'm a little more comfortable with it. It seems to be holding the position quite nicely. So we'll bring it into the camera here for a nice closer look at it. You can see the LED battery display on the back side of it. So we've got 60% battery. That's just weird, guys, how it just smartened up after hitting return the home. We'll get it up in the air so you can see a bit better. Yeah, it's flying great now. So we also have 18 satellites now as well. I liked the screen, the built-in screen. That was the selling point for me. Get a shot here. This is where we're flying today. Very responsive to the controls, and that started out pretty rough. Happy that it's now flying like it should. So I'm not sure what that was all about. Maybe it was just the amount of satellites we had. 18 satellites seems to be great. So I'm going to take a couple pictures. We'll stop the video. Okay, and we'll just position the drone to take a couple pictures here. Down to 57% battery life. Now I can see a little bit of jello here. Good. I'm going to try headless mode now. So we should be able to pull it right back towards ourselves here. Did not respond. Oh, there we go. I haven't actually even been looking at the distance. Right now it's showing me at about 80 meters away, which is not true, so I don't think that's accurate. Now, while we're up there, I'm going to stop the video. We're going to go into our functions, and we're going to switch that camera over to the optical flow camera. There we go. So you can see now we've got a view from the top down. So in that camera does not look to be as good as quality as the front camera. Actually, I'll start recording. Now you can see that top down look there. Wind is starting to pick up a bit. Drone's handling it just fine. Stop that recording. We'll go back into the functions. Switch that over back to the front camera. There we go. All right, looks like we're toilet bowling again a bit now. Yeah, it's starting to act up again here, guys. I'm gonna see if we can get it to settle down a bit. And you can see again, toilet bowling. This is concerning. This is what you don't want to happen with a drone. I don't know. I'm not too comfortable with this one. Will I take it out for a range test? Yes, I'll take it out. But yeah. All right, guys, that's the S159 GPS drone. Hit or miss. It was great once it was locked on and stable, but that toilet bowling that we saw there on 2 occasions, that was awful. Very hard to control. Definitely something you don't want to see with a GPS drone. So tell you what, I'm going to leave some links down below in the description if you want to get some more info or even grab one for yourself. Check it out there, and we'll see you on the next one.